In the complex numbers where I squared is equal to -1, what complex number x is a solution to the equation x times 2 plus 3i is equal to 1? So, if you haven't completed the complex numbers lesson, it's a great lesson to do. I will teach you what you need to know to be able to do this one, but if you want to be able to get all complex number questions correct, it's a short, easy lesson that will help you do that. So, one of the biggest tricks that we teach you in the lesson is that the answer to a large number of complex number questions is just going to be the conjugate of the complex number. And so you might not know what a conjugate is. So we're going to do a little practice with conjugates. I'm not going to teach you what a conjugate is. We're just going to solve for what is the conjugate of 4 plus 2i, which is 4 minus 2i. All that you do to find the conjugate of a binomial is to switch the sign that is on the second term. And so in this case, it's 4 plus 2i, so we switch the sign of the second term, turn it to 4 minus 2i, and that's the conjugate. The benefit of the conjugate on complex numbers is that anytime you multiply a complex number by its conjugate, it will eliminate the imaginary portion of the term. And therefore, we are able to end in a whole number, as is the case in the question shown. If that didn't make sense to you, just know a large percentage of the time, if one of the answers of a complex number question is the conjugate of that complex number, it is almost certainly the right answer. Now, on this question, they tried to make it a little bit more challenging because it's not a perfect conjugate. But what we can know is that the closest thing to a conjugate form where they switch the sign of the second term is going to be answer A. So we're just going to try answer A first to see if that will result in it equaling 1. And so we're going to go ahead and do 2 over 13 plus, minus 3 over 13i times 2 plus 3i. I'm going to see if this equals 1. All right, so when we multiply 2 over 13 times 2, we get 4 over 13. And then when we multiply it times 3i, we get 6i over 13. And then we multiply the negative 3 over 13i by 2 to get negative 6 over 13i. So it's going to be negative 6i over 13. So these two are just going to cancel out. And then we do negative 9i squared, which is going to make it positive 9. Because anytime you have I squared, it's just negative 1. So it's just 9 times negative 1, or negative 9 times negative 1, which is positive 9. And it is going to be over 13. And so we have 4 over 13 plus 9 over 13, which is 13 over 13, which is equal to 1, telling us that it is indeed answer A.